to this here in the Telegraph.
Football Rivera bite, I hear his foot's all right. Of course it all depends if it ran last night.
I know it's Valentine, the morning.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, October 12th races at Hastings. We do have 7 races on the Saturday. It's closing weekend. 7 races on Saturday, 8 on Sunday, and then 8 more
8 on Monday. They just finished entries this morning for the Monday card, so it's all wrapped up and ready to go. And a decent looking little card. Very competitive races this weekend. I don't know about you, Mike, but when I was doing my handicap and I had a lot of trouble switching around a lot, I think there's going to be some good payoffs.
We're hoping, especially on Monday when those big races come up tough. The Ballerina came up with 12 horses. The Premiers come up with 9. There's some good races.
2-year-old races. They're very competitive.
Championship honors will be decided on Monday, so it should be a lot of fun. But that's on the Monday. Once again, all 3 days this weekend, we're running at 1:50 the first race, so 1:50 is your start time. Okay, let's get on to the first on the Saturday program. Got a field of 6 $8,000 claimers that have not won 3 races lifetime. They're going to go a mile and a 16th. I ended up on the 5 Title Nobility. He's taking a drop in class, but he has been on the missing list. He hasn't been seen for better part of 3 months, and he's got a decent work tab, but he's had a good form since returning to Hastings from Phoenix. He's gone year-round, and he was a good second to Casino Boss. I thought it was a pretty good effort considering it was sprinting. He's a better distance horse. He gets to go along here against a lot easier competition. I like him to win it. I put the 3-horse Peyton's Best in for second. He's a horse that also is getting some class relief. I think they're coming out of the tougher races, and I think those 2, the 5 and the 3, should be the horses you're zoning in on. Those races were super tough. They're both coming out of. And I put the 1-horse I'm Big Trouble in for third. He's a horse that's been pretty consistent. Was victimized by a tough track last time. He got a little far back, but managed to rally to be 4th. But still, I thought it was a pretty good effort. He's a pretty neat horse. But I do like Title Nobility and Peyton's Best. I think they're the best. 5-3, 3-5 for me. I went 5-3-1, but either way with the top 2. But Title Nobility on top.
I see it exactly the same way, Mike. I think Title Nobility is the horse to beat. Been running as much tougher his whole career. Barb's given a little time off, some freshener, as you mentioned. He ran all winter, so that couple months off is probably going to be just right, and she knows how to have one ready off the bench, and it is a much softer spot than what he has previously faced. Casino Boss came back to win. I really like Title Nobility. Peyton's Best, the reasons you mentioned. Another one that's been in those tougher races. Fits snugly into here. I put Lord Harlow in the 3rd spot, the only place I differed. He just got beat by Pat Squirrel last time. He ran second in the same condition last time. Basically against these horses, except for the top 2 droppers, as you mentioned, who look like they're very tough in here. I went 5, 3, and 4. On to the second, 12-5 for 3-year-olds and up. Nice little race here, actually, for older horses. Wide open 12-5, going 6.5. I've gone to the 3 Hockley. He just won going long. I don't think he needs to go long, though. Melanie Walters, I'll talk about her a few times this weekend. I like some of her horses she has entered. Has had an outstanding year, her first full year of training, batting 27%. Hockley just won for 12-5. I like the route to sprint angle. And leader rider Amadeo Perez sticks with. I got Hockley on top. The second spot, I put Pacal. A horse with blazing speed, and just got caught late by a very tough Lauren 500 in that 17.5 last time. He fits well into the 12.5 category. Wouldn't be surprised to see him win it. Those are my 2 I really like. And the 3rd spot, I put Bear Rock and Roll. Drops down for the lowest price he's been in for some time. Doesn't seem to be going really the right way, but the class relief is going to help him. He is a hard-knocking old horse, Bear Rock and Roll. I went 3, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I went to the 5 Pacal. I think
I could definitely see him winning.
Yeah, this horse ran dynamic frac, 21-4, 44 flat. You know, he obviously got the staggers. He got beat by a pretty good horse in Lauren 500. He's a nice, to me, a $25,000, $35,000 claimer. So he got beat by a pretty good horse in that 17.5 claimer. I think he gets the lead to himself.
Not a lot of horses to go with him in here either.
No, Antonio Reyes should get to control the tempo. I don't think he'll need to go anywhere near as fast. But I like Pacal to win it because he's facing basically a lot of like Hockley and Blade Scuffler and Bear Rock and Roll. All horses have been routing. They've all been going long.
Yeah.
They're cutting back to 6.5. They're playing on Pacal's home field here at 6.5 furlongs, and I think Pacal will be the one that'll win it. I put Blade Scuffler in for second. This one's been chasing some sprint-like fractions in his distance races, so I think he's the one that may adapt the best on the cutback from 1 mile and a 16th to 6.5 furlongs. So I'm going to give him the shot for second. And I agree with Hockley for third. He's just a cool horse that continues to run good races. Does have to pay the penalty for winning a bunch of times. He's got to pack 124 pounds in this race, as does Bear Rock and Roll. So I think Pacal and Blade Scuffler have a lot going for them. And those are my top two for sure. But I went 5, 6, and 3 in the Saturday second. On to the third race, maiden $5,000 fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. I didn't fall in love with anyone in here. I think this race is ripe for an upset. And I'm going to try the 6-horse Stars of Gold.
Yeah.
Going to go without blinkers for Kelly Rycroft. The mare was a pretty nice mare on high. She had a lot of talent. Didn't have a long racing career, but she was quite good in her limited starts. This horse chased some very fast fractions, 22 flat, 45 and 2. This horse sitting third by 3 lengths. None of these other horses can sit close to those kind of dynamic fractions and finish well. So I just think Stars of Gold is going to get the lead. The blinker change may help. The blinkers come off, maybe help this horse relax a little bit. And a nice work in 47 flat since the race. Not a lot of these horses can run in 47 flat. So, I mean, it's just nice to see a horse that can breeze in 47 flat in the morning. And it might be worth the play at a decent price. If this horse shows up at 7-2, well then, unlucky for me, but I think this horse will show up at a lot bigger price. But I like Stars of Gold. Put the 1-horse Runaway Charm and the 5 Counterfeit LK in behind. They're both fat maidens that have had a lot of chances to get that big form that's this long on a maiden. You usually want to steer away from them, but I just didn't see any of the newcomers that were all that interesting, and so I'll go 6-1-5.
I did land on one of those horses. I went on Counterfeit LK.
He's always winning, for sure.
Yeah, I just think it's his turn. Scott Williams got aboard him last time for the first time, ran second to a well-man Alley's Bobcat. Scott sticks with him. I think it's graduation day for Counterfeit LK here on the last weekend of the year. The second spot, I put One Cool Carrot. Another barn that's having a first-year trainer, Pedro Alvarado, is having another guy who's having a strong meet. Almost a very similar stats to Melanie Walters. He's batting 28%. And
got the right horses. You got them $4,000, $5,000 horses that can run every week.
That are tough and just keep winning, like Lady Born and those type of horses. One Cool Carrot has been in his barn for a while. I like the work pattern, and got beat by Blue Menno and PSN Cash the last time it ran. Horses that have gone on and broke their maiden. So not an overly tough race. I wouldn't be surprised to see One Cool Carrot win it. Gets in with the bug weight of 116. And the third spot, I put Runaway Charm, under leading rider Amadeo Perez. Another one, as you mentioned, a bit of form on this horse. Sooner or later, he's going to put it together. Got beat by some decent horses last time in Medea, Whistler, and Classic Cheese.
Oh, he's coming out of a live race.
So she's coming out of a live race, so that wouldn't surprise me either. I went 5, 3, and 1 in the third. On to the fourth, 2-year-olds, maiden, optional 30, going 6.5. I went to the outside horse, the 9-post. Hopefully won't hurt him too much. Coffee Grinder, a horse that only ran once. I can see him definitely improving in his second start. Got beat by a horse that we both like in the Ascot graduation, Laguna Blaze, a very well-meant runner of the Carl Lawson barn. Only got beat 1.25 lengths from him. As I mentioned, he has the start. I see him progressing well for good connections, McPherson and Hamill. The second spot, I put Brother Chunky, a guy who's been knocking on the door. Got beat by Burnaby Baron, another what I feel is a pretty nice little 2-year-old here at Hastings. Last time, Brother Chunky's going to be one of your favorites. He figures to be in the mix. The third spot, I put Farniente.
Let's go with Niente.
Thank you, Mike.
Which is ever right. I don't know what's right.
I like your accent on that.
Niente.
McPherson, our leading trainer here at Hastings, having a very strong year. Him and Birmingham have good stats together, 26%. This is a horse that he, young owner, or new owner, I should say, Chad Joe, Copperwater Thoroughbreds, has had a good amount of success.
Yeah, great meet.
In his second year here. And this is a horse they kind of tipped their hand, I feel. They nominated to the Ascot, then decided to run the maiden race. So this horse is probably pretty live. I went 9, 6, and 2.
Yeah, I'm going to try the 5-horse Renegade Cowboy. I think Brother Chunky to 6 is the horse, obviously the horse with the best form. It ran second last time and in a good heat. It ran down there in 18 and change. But Renegade Cowboy ran in behind him by about 5 lengths. But he does get Lasix. It's only his second start of his career. He's got a lot of upside, I think, Renegade Cowboy. And plus the price will be a lot better than it will be on Brother Chunky. Brother Chunky's had 4 starts, or had 3 starts going into the race. That was just Renegade Cowboy's first start. So I'm going to reverse. I'm going to go 5-6. I think Renegade Cowboy, Amadeo sticks with for Robert Gilker, and gets first-time license.
They've had a very good year together too.
Yes, I think there's a lot of upside with Renegade Cowboy. I think this horse is going to improve a lot, and might be able to turn the tables on Brother Chunky. And I put the one horse, the filly, blended. Actually, there's a few fillies in here. The 1, 2, and 7 are all fillies in this particular race. So, but blended had a tough trip from an outside draw, and gets Frank Fuentes off the layoff, or was off the layoff last time.
Yeah.
But this horse, I think will give a better effort, the daughter of Mizamas, so give her a shot. But I do like Renegade Cowboy. I think that's the horse. I'm going to 5, 6, and 1. On to the 5th race. Got some fillies and mares, 5,000 claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. I think the competition for me was down on the inside. I don't see a lot of speed in this race at all. I see a lot of horses that are cutting back in distance. And I see Danny's Chant getting. I'm going to try Danny's Chant.
I'd like to see that for
I
Frank.
don't mind Keishan Balgobin in the irons. I think this horse is just going to get to the top, and that's where this horse runs her best races, is when she's on the lead, loose. And I think she's afforded that luxury on Saturday. So I'm going to try Danny's Chant to defeat the 1, Lady Born, who's the obvious pick. I think this horse is live, and the 3 horse Remarkably Free is live. Undo It, I left off the ticket, is live. I mean, those are the inside 4 horses are likely the ones that'll run 1, 2, 3, 4. But I just think Danny's Chant may have a tactical edge on a lot of these horses, get away cheap on the head end, and might pose a bit of an upset. And I went 2, 1, 3.
I think because Pedro Alvaro does have 2 horses in here, that Lady Born won't let Danny's Chant get that easy lead.
I don't know if she's fast enough to go with her, but
She might
we'll
not
see.
be,
We'll see. Yeah.
But I could see him trying to press her
Yeah.
to set up for Undo It. So I put Undo It in. I think it's an advantage of having 2 horses in the race. Having a horse where if there's no speed, Lady Born can be right up there. If there is speed, Undo It will be closing late, and she did beat these horses last time. So I got Undo It on top. I went with Lady Born in second. I think they could run 1, 2 again.
Right.
And third spot, I put Remarkably Free. How honest do they get? She's always tries.
she's
She
cool
always,
mare. Cool
I mean,
mare.
she's always seems
She's
to hit
about
the
this
board.
big. She's like
What is
a
that?
pit bull.
22 out of 30 starts. She's been in the money,
thoroughbred
so
pit bull is
I'm
what
not
she
going to leave her off the ticket. I went 4, 1, and 3 in the 5th. On to the 6th race. Nice little allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. A couple girls in here, a couple older girls, Graffiti Grace and Catalia, who've both had a few wins this year. I went to the 5 Step Up for the Money, a 3-year-old out of the Pat Jarvis barn. Pat Jarvis is having a very strong meet. Another barn that's doing very well,
Yes, she is.
especially later on in the meet. Her horses have started running really well. He won the CTHS Sales Stakes for the boys division last time, beating a very tough Hope Seeker. I know it probably wasn't Hope Seeker's day, but he still got up and nosed to him, and Hope Seeker would be an absolute standout in this race. So I put Step Up for the Money on top. I'd like to see that for Pat, and owned by her sister Lillian Jarvis Meehan. Second spot, I put Graffiti Grace. I went with one of the girls out of the Robbie Anderson barn. Graffiti Grace, another one, very honest, hard-trying mare. You can't leave her out. Got an allowance race to go against the girls last time, and made no mistake, crushed them. So I actually had her on top the first time I did. Went back and put Step Up for the Money because I think he's the now horse. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see Graffiti Grace win either. Look at her work tab too. Bullets all over the place. She's good to go. And the third spot, I put the 8, Similkameen Joey. I know your top pick, Mike. A horse that, as we were talking about before the show, probably wasn't really playing his game last time when they tried to take him off the pace, but not a whole lot of speed in here, and he could be well gone if maybe Catalia, a couple of these other ones, leave him alone. I got him in the third spot. I got 5, 3, and 8.
Yeah, as we mentioned before the show, I'd really like, probably my best bet of the day is the 8, Similkameen Joy. I really like this horse. I think he's coming to hand nicely. They tried to route him for a couple times during the summer, and it just didn't work out. They come back to a sprint. He got beaten 16 and change by Twist Grips. And then off the 6-week layoff, ran against an open allowance race. Stratify, Senior Reign, and Golden Triumph are considerably tougher horses than this group. And they opted to because he had an outside draw. It would have been tough to send. They went 21 and 3. There was a pile of speed in the race. He couldn't go that
Golden
day.
Triumph,
So let's try a strategy change, see if he can come from off the. And I thought he ran an admirable race. He ended up running 5th, beating 4 lengths. He was passing horses at the end of it. I just think he'll be in his running style and just be sent out there on Saturday. And I just think I don't see any speed in here other than Catalia maybe. There's no real speed horse. Graffiti Grace isn't speed. She has
She'll lay
positional
off
speed.
it, yeah.
But Smilkameen Joy is a much faster horse. I think he's the best horse in the race by quite a bit. I put the 4-horse Stevenson Aladdin for second. He's coming out of that Serendipity Grove race, that horse that keeps just winning races for Tom Leslie and Jim Brown. But Stevenson Ladd, I think, is in a good spot, and I agree with the filly Graffiti Grace for third. I left Step Up for the money off the ticket. I know he took advantage of he's a 3-year-old running his older horses, number one. Number two, he took advantage of and that was the day to win. That was the day to win. He got Hope Seeker on an off day, and he's probably going to get over bet because of that race too. So you're not going to get proper value on Step Up for the money. This horse lost sprinting for 17.5 in his prior start. So I mean, these horses are considerably tougher, I think, at 6.5 furlongs. But I went 8, 4, and 3 in the 6th, the feature race of the day. On to the 7th and final. We only have 7 races on the Saturday program. Got some 12-5 older horses here, actually 3 and up, going 6.5 furlongs. Actually, straight 3-year-olds, sir. I've gone to the 3-horse, Michael's Glory. I think he's the live horse dropping out of those tough allowance races against the aforementioned Serendipity Grove. Wasn't disgraced that day at all. I just think he gets into an excellent spot here. I think it's his race to win. I put the 6 Stone Ridge Storm, another cool horse that's just been in good form. Hasn't really run a bad race all year. And I think he's live. I think you need both the 3 and the 6. And I put the 1-horse We Can Be Heroes off the claim for Frank Barabee. Claim for $4,000, but it does come up for 10. This horse has won this, or for 12.5. Has won this high in the past, so I give him a shot as well. I like 3 and 6, so I think those are your horses. I got exactly the same way. I like Michael's Glory and Stone Ridge Storm, as you mentioned. I give Michael Glory the edge because he has won 3 races. Stone Ridge Storm, look at his last few races. He's like favorite every time, and just gets beat. Just seems to be good a bit of a bridesmaid. He's unlucky horse. So I put Michael's Glory on top, Stone Ridge Storm in the 2nd spot, and We Can Be Heroes, as you mentioned, off the claim for Frank Barabee, but a horse that I could see definitely with a win under his belt going back, kind of going the right way. I got 3, 6, and 1. See it exactly the same as you, Mike. In the nightcap, that'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, October 12th card. 3rd to last day of the meet, and up next, there we go, there's Mike's picks on board. Okay, back in race number 1, a quick recap. I went to the 5, Title Nobility. I went 5, 3, 1. Race number 2, I went to the 5, Pacal. I'm going to go for a wire-to-wire performance from Pacal. The old 5-5 double. 5, 6, 3 for me in the 2nd race. In the 3rd race, I went to the 6, Stars of Gold. Went a little off the rails there, but I think this horse could be your upset horse of the day. I went 6, 1, and 5. The 4th race, back to the 5 horse. I went to Renegade Cowboy. Minor upset maybe, 5, 6, and 1. 5th race, number 2, Danny's Chant. Another potential nice price play. She has the speed. Hopefully she can pull it off. 2, 1, and 3. The 6th race, I went to the 8, Similkameen Joey, likely my best bet of the day, 8, 4, and 3. 7th race, I went to the 3, Michael's Glory, another live one. I went 3, 6, and 1. And up next will be my picks. There we go. I agree with Mike in the 1st on number 5, Titled Nobility over the 3 and the 4. The 2nd, I look for back-to-back wins for Hockley, number 3 over the 5 and the 4. In the 3rd, I went to the 5, Counterfeit LK over the 3 and the 1. In the 4th, number 9, Coffee Grinder over the 6 and the 2. In the 5th, I went with number 4, Undo It over the 1 and the 3. In the 6th, I went to number 5, Step Up for the Money. Betting with my heart there. I'd like to see Step Up for the Money win over the 3 and the 8. And in the nightcap, I agree with Mike on number 3, Michael Glory, owned by our good friend Wayne Oliver, over the 6 and the 1. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Don't forget, if you can't make it out to Hastings this weekend at any particular day, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, come right on down here if you're in the neighborhood in the South Surrey area, and you'll get lots of good entertainment here, lots of great foods, lots of televisions to watch, whatever track you like, Keeneland, Belmont, Santa Anita. And I will mention, with this being the last weekend, next weekend, which would be the 19th, the Saturday, we do start our very popular handicapping contest. They've always been here at the Derby Bar and Grill. It's a really good time. We have a lot of regulars come. We used to get about 20, 25 people. We're looking for even more than that this year. And always a good payoff and a lot of fun. And Chef Andy will be doing a buffet this year for our handicapping contest. So it's always on the Saturdays. Always on Saturday? Always on the Saturdays. Every Saturday, all winter long. Okay, so come on out. Another great reason to come out to the Derby Bar and Grill. Starting next week. Starting on the 19th of October. Yeah. All right, on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill. You know, the jockeys brothers are a friend of mine. And just a minute, boys.